Hi friends, this is Shri Vidya. I welcome you to my channel on Cardiac Essentials. Today we'll be discussing, like previously we were talking about heart and kidney diseases, how they are related, how each one another can affect each other, how they are directly related to each other. So there are multiple types of kidney disease. We were talking about CKD. So that is when the kidneys become damaged over time, at least for 3 months, and find it very hard doing all their important jobs. Then you have the kidney failure, when the kidneys are no longer able to work well enough to do the normal functions. People with kidney failure will need dialysis or a kidney transplant to survive. And CKD can eventually lead to kidney failure. The other type is the glomerular diseases. That is a condition where glomeruli, what is that? That is a tiny filtering units in the kidney. They become damaged. So glomerular diseases include many conditions, with many different causes. Like acute kidney injury, AKI they say. That is a sudden temporary drop in kidney function that happens within a few hours or a few days of this disease. And CKD is the most common type of kidney disease. There are also, like I said, it's not only kidney affects your heart affects your kidney. So both have to be balanced, and how one can balance is you have to take the medications properly. Your job can wait, everything can wait, but medications have to be taken on proper time, and never miss on appointments with your physicians, because they can tell you the current situation, what it was yesterday, what it is today, and if it is better, whether you can stop any medication or reduce or you can reduce it, or if it is like higher side, maybe you can include 2 or more meds. So these things can be decided by the physician. For that, you have to keep up your appointments with the physician. Adopt to a active lifestyle. Again, it depends on the physiology of the person. I can say active lifestyle, so don't stick on to that. It depends on the physiology of the person, the ailments they have, the current medications they are taking, the history, what they are, where the family they have come through, what they are going through now, what are the medications they are taking. So not only just one factor, but multiple factors. So let's come back to the subject. We were discussing upon different types of heart diseases, which include like a heart failure. What is a heart failure? Heart failure is one when the heart finds it very hard pumping blood throughout the body. And the other factor is the heart attack. This happens when blood flow bringing oxygen to the heart is blocked. So what happens? The heart cannot get enough oxygen, and heart muscles starts to die. The other heart disease is angina, chest pain caused by reduced blood flow to the heart. So there can be many things. It can be the plaque buildup, and it can be the cholesterol, the plaque buildup. So mainly I would say everything, it will be circulating on your diet. You should avoid fatty stuff. That's why if you go to hotels, any restaurants, it can be a big 7-star hotel or it can be a small dhaba, roadside dhaba. Anywhere you go, to make the thing spicy, they will be adding all the spices, making it cheesy, fatty stuff. You have to define, okay, I want to go in with fruit salads, vegetable salads, salty vegetables, adopt to a healthy lifestyle. So angina is chest pain caused by reduced blood flow to the heart. So you cannot say every chest pain that is existing is angina, no. So heart attack is a medical condition, and angina is a symptom of the medical condition leading to the heart attack. So next you can think of is the stroke. That again happens when the blood supply to the brain is blocked. Ischemic stroke they say. when there is a sudden bleeding in the brain from a broken blood vessel, hemorrhagic stroke. So this happens like there might be some, it can be age related, it can be also, if it is say 40s, 30s, it can be injury due to car accidents as well, a fall as well. No, one has to be careful if there is a, because nowadays, please do not take me wrong, I don't want to mention any brands of cars, but generally speaking, small brands of cars, I'm finding that the airbags don't open up so easily. You have to ensure it can be a small brand, it can be, a mid-size car or a hi-fi car. It has to be, the safety things has to be looked upon. I had a friend, very good friend of mine, he was working for AT&T at that time, he was a very good friend, and his name was Shankar, and he used to always say, I had this Mercedes, that was my brand, that's the car I had, and always my brand was that. I never took anything else, because not because of its price or not because of its model, but because of the comfort I found in Mercedes. I opt for that. I find it very safe, and the auto options you have in that, is awesome. Once I was driving to Florida, from South Carolina, there was a big truck that had come, I like to drive, big truck that had come right in front of my car, and because it was Mercedes, it had an auto parking option. When I looked at the huge truck in front of me, I fell unconscious on the steering. I was so much with shock, and lucky I'm alive. I would thank Shri Krishna. The car automatically, it went to the parking mode and it got onto the side of the curb and it parked itself. It had an auto parking option. And after a while, when I got up, the car was parked on one side of the road and the truck had passed off. And by then I thought I should not take long drives, though I should go in with either a flight or a train. So that's what was there in my mind. So it can be anything. Whenever you have any hits or blows or falls, the best thing is get on to, if it is you are concerning your head, go get a MRI done. Don't get scared of MRI, nothing to get scared, or your CT scan done, so that you know what is going on. If everything is normal, it's normal. That's assurance that everything is normal. But if not, then you can take early action onto that, later on, prevention is better than cure. Okay, so stroke it happens when the blood supply to the brain is blocked. It's called as ischemic stroke, or when there is a sudden bleeding in the brain from a broken blood vessel, hemorrhagic stroke. Actually, when one talks about brain, there are two things that concerns it. One is the physical anatomy of the brain, like physical structure of the brain, and another is the circulatory system. So if you look at surgeons, if you get on to the surgical world, we surgeons, we handle everything differently. Like the circulatory system will be always related. We all know, it's the neurosciences, it's get on to the neurology side. And okay, let's get on to the subject. The other thing is the arrhythmia. We all know what is arrhythmia. Is a irregular heartbeat. So that is where, when the heart's rate or rhythm, or the way the heart is beating, there is some problem in the way the heart beats or the rhythm of the heart. The most common type one can think about is atrial fibrillation, so also known as AFib. So one might be thinking, what is causing all this? Shri is talking about arrhythmia, she is talking about ischemic attack, what is all this, heart attack, stroke? Yeah, the most common causes are the most common CKD risk factors are notable is diabetes. One of the diabetologists, like I said, I went before, I really liked him, he was saying, Shri, diabetes is God. You worship the God, your wishes will be granted. Oh my God, I never heard anyone say that. Oh my God. It's so true. You worship the God. Diabetes is God. And it's so true. You please the God, your wishes will be granted. How happy it will be. It will keep you active. Once your diabetes levels are normal, you will feel your body active. There won't be exhaustion. B12, your diabetes, vitamin D3, and electrolytes. All these need to be PTH value. All this need to be kept on check. So add a protein drink to your diet every day. You get so many B protein drinks in the market. And B's are gods. Vitamin B's are B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. B's are gods. You get so many B drinks. Even diabetic B drinks, diabetic vitamin drinks you get. D protein, Protein is a must. And honestly speaking, please do not mistake me. We might think our daily diet has got protein, we are taking this, that. But I don't think we get the sufficient amount of protein that we need in our daily diet. We have to take separate protein drinks, for our body to keep ourselves healthy. That's how we can manage ourselves. So like I said, the diabetes is one factor, the most common CKD risk factor. Another is the high blood pressure. Then you can talk about heart disease, heart failure, obesity, and age. One of the other factor is age. Age over 60 years of age. Then the other one is the family history of CKD or kidney failure, or the personal history of acute kidney failure, AKI. These CKD risk factors can also raise risk of heart disease, which we will be discussing in our next video. For now, I am going to end up today's video. If you do like my video, put a subscribe to my channel, put a like, and wishing you all a very long and healthy life. God bless and thank you.